can probably hear the chickens and ducks behind me. I am standing underneath an Illinois ever-bearing mulberry. This is an absolute beast of a tree. It wants to be 60 feet and I have to prune it constantly to keep it at 20. It is probably too large for this space, but I love it because it produces a ridiculous amount of fruit over a very long period of time. However, the fruit doesn't ripen all at once. You can see here it ripens in stages, and also look how much there is. It's incredibly time consuming to pick this fruit. You have to do it every single day because the fruit, once it's ripe, is quite ephemeral. So that's one downside of this plant. Another downside of growing mulberries is that they're very, very stainy. They will stain your skin, they'll stain your clothes. I always wear dark clothes when I pick them. They will stain concrete as well. And unlike your blackberries and raspberries, which are actually not closely related to mulberries at all, despite them looking similar, mulberries are actually in the Moraceae, and their closest relatives are going to be figs and jackfruit. They're not at all closely related to raspberries and blackberries. But the mulberry has a stem that runs all the way through the middle of the fruit, so you can't eat the fruit without eating the stem. That's fine. It's all totally edible. Mulberries are also very, very sweet and not very acidic. So when I cook with them, I like to add lemon juice or lime juice. So I've got a broken toe. My foot's in a little boot. I can't really get up on a ladder, but even so, that's not the most efficient way to pick these. I often do pick them on a ladder, but the most efficient way to pick them is a technique I want to show you today. It's very, very lazy. It's very, very efficient. And it's something that if you grow a mulberry and you have an opportunity to clear space underneath it so that you can use this harvesting method, I really, really encourage you to do so. Again, here's my mulberry. All of this fruit, ripe and unripe. The ripe fruit falls very, very easily off the branch. If you barely touch it, it falls. If it's not ripe yet, you can bruise the fruit trying to pick it. So you see that? You just barely touch the fruit and it falls if it's ripe. So what I do is I put down a tarp, a clean tarp that only gets used for this purpose, and then you might have to pick a few leaves out and, check for spiders, but in 15 seconds, I picked more fruit than I could probably pick in 15 minutes by hand. So I'll move this tarp around, and by the time I'm done, it will just be absolutely full of fruit, and I'll probably have a gallon at least for the freezer today. And then